Actually, I have a couple of quick follow-up questions, and one question I forgot to ask you. First, Mr. Beeler, you were in the room earlier when Mr. Emery testified about the increases in value that they have seen in Vernon Parish.
Yes.
Can you explain that? How that came about, or what those increases represent?
Actually, I can. So the values when they originally purchased that pipe were rendered to us as 1970 pipe. And they were rendered to us that way several years. And one year when the lap form showed up, they were rendered as 1996, I believe. I can verify that. And when we received that and noticed that there was a change of 25 years newer pipe, we thought possibly there was a mistake. Picked up the phone, called to verify that that information was correct. And they, in fact, we were told by Mr. Tim Winkleman with R.E. McElroy, who was the tax rep at the time, I believe, that that was correct, that the 1996 or 1997 was the correct age for the pipe. We informed him that due to the age depreciation, that that would create quite a significant increase in the tax bill. As a favor to the company, we agreed to phase that increase in over several years, which is why it went from 30 to 60 to 90 or whatever it was. Those are the numbers that he testified to earlier. I did not verify that that was, in fact, the increase, but that was the reason for the increase, as well as there was 1.41 miles of new pipe that was rendered that year as well. I believe 2014 was the first year that that was rendered as 1996 or 97 pipe as opposed to 70, and also the 1.41 miles of pipe was rendered to us for the first time that year as well. So that was the reason for the increase.
Thank you. No further questions.
Just a quick follow-up. So you're saying that in 2014 was when you got the year changed?
I believe it was, yes.
And that was the additional pipeline, so that all showed up in 2014?
I believe so, yes.
Do you know whether there was any obsolescence granted in 2014?
That I don't know.
Do you know whether there was any obsolescence granted in 2015?
Well, like I said, I know we phased in the increase, but I would have to go back to pull those years' renditions to see if there was additional obsolescence.
Do you know if there was ever any obsolescence granted to this pipeline prior to 2014?
Yes, there was.
Okay, and why was there obsolescence? Why was that changed? When did that change? When did you stop granting obsolescence?
Well, when Interfin first purchased the pipe, the conversation that I personally had with them at that time, they told me that that pipe was basically abandoned. I was under the impression that it was open-ended and not able to be used. The question that I asked was, why then did you purchase it? And I was told basically almost like for the right-of-way. So we had obsolescence applied at that time, and then in the future we realized that that pipe was in fact being used. We were not aware of that when it was first purchased. So we reduced the amount of obsolescence that we gave them at that time.
So you were not aware in 2007, 8, 9 that the pipeline was being used?
When they first purchased it, I was under the impression that it was not being used when they purchased it, that they bought it for right-of-way. I believe that's what I was told.
Why would they buy right-of-way if they're not going to use a pipeline? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't either.
Right-of-way is the right to use a pipeline.
Correct.
I think Mr. Emery testified that they paid for the right-of-way. They didn't pay for the line, but they purchased the line and the right-of-way. You heard that testimony?
Yes.
Is that what you understood?
No. I understood that the pipe was not being used, that they bought an abandoned pipeline. I was under the impression when they bought it that they were not going to use that pipe. And I don't.
When did they start rendering it as pipeline that was being used?
I couldn't tell you the exact year.
Was it before 2014?
Possibly, yes.
So you don't know, did they, in all those years in their rendition from 2007 to 2014, you don't know whether they indicated in the rendition that it was being used or was not being used?
No, I don't. I mean, we're talking about renditions from 11, 12 years ago. I don't remember exactly each year what was provided to us. At some point, it was brought to our attention, hey, we're using this pipe. But I don't remember exactly what year or
It
how.
could have been as early as 2007, 2008,
Well, it wasn't the first year, no.
but it could have been right after that.
Yeah, it was after that.
I bet it could have been right after that, the second year.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I guess it could have been. I don't remember exactly when. I could probably.
So for a period of time after you knew it was being used, you granted obsolescence?
Yes.
And then
Sure.
that changed at some point?
No. We still offered to grant additional obsolescence. We offered it last year.
But the assessments did not include obsolescence last year?
No, they said that the amount that we offered was not enough and they wanted to go to appeal.
This year, the assessments did not include obsolescence?
No.
I'm correct in that statement, correct?
Yes, you're correct. That this year's renditions did not include additional obsolescence.
Not the renditions included obsolescence based on
Our
the tax
assessments.
commitments. Your assessments did not include obsolescence this year at all.
Yes, that is correct.
So again, you offered obsolescence to provide some obsolescence?
In 2017, yes.
Okay, not in 2018.
Well, no. They asked for the same value, and I guess I was under the impression that since last year's decision was still being appealed, that, it was kind of in limbo, that they would not accept the same offer for obsolescence that they rejected in 2017.
But in 2018, there was no obsolescence. You didn't give any obsolescence in 2018.
Correct.
Is the litigation still in district court?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions, any other statements?
And that was the last witness I had.
All right, well, thank you all very much. Thank you. We're gonna, I'll make the motion that we take this matter under advisement. Second.
Commissioner Berkshire?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes. The Tax Commission hereby accepts all pre-filed documents and oral testimony into the record as Taxpayer Exhibit 1 in Globo, Assessor Exhibit 1 in Globo, and Louisiana, and for each appeal hearing conducted here today respectfully.
And again, to restate for my record, we do object to the admission of Exhibit D.
Exhibit D,
Correct. D is in
D is in
dog.
dog. Okay.
Thank you very much, Commissioners.
All right, the next item on the agenda, we'll move back to the regular order. Next item on the agenda is consideration of the approval of the 2019 tax rolls for the following parishes: Allen, Caddo, Jefferson, Lafourche, Plaquemine, Point Coupee, Red River, Richland, Tangipahoa, and Washington parishes.
Good afternoon. Phyllis King, Assistant Director, Louisiana Tax Commission. We do have 10 tax rolls, as read by Chairman. For your consideration, we've received the electronic rolls, as well as all the paper documentation. And that includes the abstract, the millage reports, the parish quietus, legislative auditor letter, and the affidavits from the assessors. The numbers do balance, and staff recommends approval of these 10 2019 tax rolls. Any questions?
Any questions? Do we have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the tax rolls for the following parishes, 2019 tax rolls for the following parishes: Allen, Caddo, Jefferson, Lafourche, Plaquemines, Point Coupee, Red River, Richland, Tangipahoa, and Washington.
Second.
Commissioner Berkshire?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shabbat?
Yes. Next on the agenda is consideration of change orders.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Meridian Pache on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 377 change orders. Staff has reviewed those change orders and requests to approve 370 and place 7 in pending status.
I would move that we accept the staff recommendations and approve 370 change orders and place 7 in pending status.
Second.
Commissioner Barcher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shavard?
Yes. We'll now consider prior pending change orders.
Meridian Pache on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 23 prior pending change orders. Staff has reviewed those change orders and requests to approve 19 and deny 4 in Orleans Fourth District due to the value being too high. This is the same property for 4 different years. Staff requests approval of these prior pending change orders.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we accept staff recommendations as it pertains to the prior pending change orders and approve 19 as requested.
Second.
Commissioner Barcher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shavard?
Yes.
Place them in back in.
Place them back in pending.
What's that?
Place them back in pending, the other.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, they were denied.
Or denied.
Okay.
What was the,
The motion was,
Altogether, approve 19 and deny 4.
Can we amend the motion to add the 4 denials?
well, let's, okay, all right, let's reconsider the vote that we just took on the prior pending change orders. I make the motion, we reconsider that vote.
second.
I'd like to still clarify if it's going
Let's do
back
this
in
first.
pending.
Let's wait 1 second.
No, they're denied.
Call the roll on,
Rejecting.
hold on. Let's vote on the reconsideration.
Commissioner Barcher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shavard?
Yes. Okay, ask a question.
And possibly you could repeat what you said earlier as far as it pertains to the 4. I think you said the value was too high.
Correct. So
What-
we are denying one property for 4 years.
Yep.
So we're gonna-
One property for 4 years. So it's the same property, but it's being increased for 1, 2, 3, and 4 years.
All right, I think that leads to Paul's question, maybe.
Yeah, well, my question was, are we putting it back in pending or are we denying it?
We're denying it.
And that's what we were,
Yeah, okay. Now, you say it's too high. The assessor was raising the value?
I believe they submitted all 4 at the same time.
Are they raising the value from what it was those years on the roll?
I believe that it was the freeze taken off. Cancel special assessment from deceased prior owner, new owner notified and applied for the homestead exemption, property partially renovated. The sold date was 8/15/2014. Let's see. It went from 3190 to 11,520.
And our appraisers went out and looked at the property and determined that that $11,000 value is too high? Okay. Do you happen to know what value they believe it should be? Our appraisers?
But I can review it.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, it's just going to delay it. All right. Okay, so we want to go ahead now, and I'll make a motion to follow the staff's recommendation. We approve 19 prior pending change orders, and we deny 4.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Barcher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
yes.
And Chairman Shavard?
Yes. We'll now consider tax sale cancellations.
Tanisha Malvo on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have one for Livingston Parish. The reason being that the assessor staff requests approval of this tax sale cancellation.
You have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the tax sale cancellation of Livingston Parish as recommended by staff for reasons stated.
Second.
Commissioner Archer?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahar?
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the reconsideration of an August 7th, 2019 cancellation of the Chandra tax sale in East Baton Rouge Parish. Mr. Robert Hoffman, our attorney, will explain to us what this is about.
I'm going to ask that we defer this matter because I think we need more information. Originally, I got a call from the title company that issued a title policy to a third-party purchaser on this property from somebody who, our tax sale cancellation said that the proper owner is a Mr. Robinson. Well, somebody bought it from Mr. Chandra, and the title company issued a title policy for it. And usually, they're pretty accurate. They go research the records and stuff like that, but I'm not so sure they're right. And I don't know that we need to get involved in a dispute over the ownership of property. So it might be best to just leave what happened.
So
as
just
it was.
defer it?
So let's just defer it. I'll do some more research on it. I can figure out who's been paying the tax bills since 2012, because there was a purchase agreement that the title company says was never consummated in favor of this guy Robinson. So I think we need more information before we do it.
Well, I'll make the motion that we defer the reconsideration of the August 7th, 2019 tax sale cancellation of the Chandra tax sale in East Baton Rouge Parish. We defer it.
Second.
Commissioner Archer?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahar?
Yes. There being
I'll
no...
report back as we get more information.
Right, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. There being no other matters to come before the commission at this time, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Archer?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahar?
Yes.